Hello, and welcome back to Socks and Sandals, and to another episode of Achievement HuntWhores. So before we start this video, I have to thank the people that helped me get this full completion. My brother Kyle, his wife Stacy, and their son Kevin. My sister Rosie, her boyfriend Nathan, and then buddy Nathan, as well as my own father. Without them, this would not have been possible. So I greatly appreciate the time that they took out of their own days to help me get this full completion. So this game, you can call it that, the full completion, the Achievement HuntWhores I'm talking about today, is the game Legendary for the Xbox 360. If you haven't heard of it, welcome to the club. Nobody who has played it, myself included, had heard of it until we actually started playing it. I was at Game Exchange, I saw it on the shelf, and I'd never heard of it, so I grabbed it. I didn't know at the time of buying it that it had multiplayer achievements, so I didn't think I would ever actually play it. But I acquired 7 other Xbox 360s, as well as 7 monitors, and then purchased 7 different Xbox Live accounts to get this full completion. And starting off, so I started with the multiplayer. I decided to get that out of the way since I didn't really need 7 other people to help me. Hell, I could have plugged up all 8 Xboxes and done it just by myself, but I thought we can make it sort of a LAN party, so I asked the people I listed at the top to help me, and I actually ended up getting 9, let me double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 achievements while not recording, doing the multiplayer, and they are Wolfies, which is to complete your first multiplayer match, right tool for the right tool, which is to fire every weapon available in multiplayer, Zookeeper, which was to kill 10 werewolves without being killed, Bounty Hunter, which is to kill 10 enemy players without being killed, Leader of the Pack, which is to get the highest number, I guess, to come in first in the number of kills within 10 matches in a row, Survivor, which is to survive a 4v4 match without dying, to win to just complete a 4v4 match without dying, Warm Fuzzy Feeling, which is to fill half of your team's Animus machine in the match and win the match. You had to have it on max Animus for that. And then Legendary 101, which was in a 4v4, fill 25% of the machine, kill 10 werewolves, 10 enemy players, and win the match. So those weren't really difficult, but Warm Fuzzy Feeling, Legendary 101, and Survivor, you had to have a max lobby of 8 people, so that's what made that difficult. Again, I could have done that all by myself, but thanks to the kind people that actually took the time out of their day and helped me, it made it go a little bit faster. But the first achievement I actually captured was King of the Jungle, which is to win 50 matches. So what we would do is we would just load up the first map, which I think is like New York Streets or something, set the max Animus to 100, which is the lowest you can possibly do. I would change the player respawn to 5 seconds. It really didn't matter. It just kind of made it a little better if, say, a werewolf killed you, or for whatever reason one of the other players killed you. You would just respawn quicker. And then I set alphas on and the werewolf spawn rate to high, so that there was just as many werewolves as could be possible in the map. And I would just kill an alpha, get all 100, or whoever was on my team, get the 100 animus from that alpha, fill the machine, and it typically ended the match within 3 to 5 minutes. So that one took a bit, but we got it. I don't know. I had everyone come over at 9 o'clock, and I think we got that by maybe 11, 12. But everyone stuck around after that to get the last multiplayer achievement I needed, which was Combat Veteran, which is to complete 200 matches. And that is it was like all day. Like I said, we got there around 9 o'clock, and played till about 7 p.m. And the thing that sucks with this is this achievement is kind of glitched. I think it has to do with, so your matches are saved to the game's server, and the match may not go down, but I think there's an issue with it keeping track of how many matches you've actually completed, because as we were going, I think Rosie and her boyfriend unlocked the achievement at like 2:06. My dad unlocked it shortly after that, and then Kyle unlocked it around 2:10. Unfortunately, I was the only one that didn't unlock it during this play session. My Xbox froze twice, so I think it severely like messed up the saving process of the matches for it. If you want to get technical, I technically unlocked the achievement like 5 times on all of the other Xboxes, but whatever. Nathan also got it. Everyone but me got the achievement, so that was a little disheartening, but we'll get to that later. So after that terrible play session, I came home and immediately started on the single player. A lot of the single player achievements are just gimmies. You get an achievement for completing a chapter, as well as there's like 2 or 3 that you get for just doing something that's required within the mission. The first chapter was like chock full of these. The first achievement I got within single player was You Call This Security, and you unlock that for bypassing the first electronic lock in the game. And like I said, it's required. You can't progress through the game without doing it, so I guess I'm not complaining. But next we got, almost immediately after, the fucking achievement pop for You Call This Security had barely left the screen, and we got Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey, which is to extinguish the doorway fire using the water valve in episode 1. Again, another gimme, as well as Here's Deckard, which later in the level, after the creatures show up, you're trapped in some sort of internet cafe, and you get a fire axe. You're awarded Here's Deckard for chopping your way out of the internet cafe with the fire axe. Again, another required one, as well as Death to Soda, which is create a ramp with the soda machine using your pistol. And then we got Flashpoint, which is to complete episode 1. I then, after completing episode 1, you unlock the Animus Pulse ability, and I just spammed it about 7 times at the start of episode 2, and then once I got to the Fire Drake encounter, did it the remaining 3 times and unlocked I Have a Problem with Intimacy, which is to use the Animus Pulse ability 10 times. Later in episode 2, we unlock Upper Management, which is to unlock the warehouse exit in episode 2. Again, another required one. And then our first missable achievement is found in episode 2, which is Live Wire. And you're tasked with finding the Black Order eliminating electric switch in episode 2. You come to this sort of rebar beam thing to cross over the subway tracks, and there's just an electrical switch to the right of it. You flick it, and it kills the Black Order troops that are there. You can still unlock the achievement, even if you kill those troops and then flick the switch. It'll still pop for you if, for whatever godforsaken reason, you decide to play this game. I do not recommend playing this game. It's not good, but if you want to, by all means, you can use this video as a guide. Next, we got Escape from Ellipses, and that is to complete episode 2. And then the missable achievement. I think there's a missable achievement in almost every chapter, barring the last one. So the first missable achievement within episode 3 is Gum on My Shoe, which is to be stepped on by the giant golem in episode 3. I just sort of followed him around until I figured out his stepping pattern and then just got stepped on. Next up, we have Revenge of the Soda, a callback to literally like 30 minutes ago. And that is Escape the Nari-possessed vending machine room in episode 3. Another unmissable one. So this game just gives out achievements like candy, which I feel like I deserve because it's absolute torture playing this game. Next, we got Beanstalk, Jack, which is to destroy the giant golem in episode 3.
The golem is down. I repeat, the golem is down. All teams, move in and secure Pandora's box.
Another unmissable one. And then finally, All Fall Down, which is to complete episode 3. Next up, we got Barf Pinata, which is to destroy the Blood Spider Queen. There are a lot of things in this game that I guess the developer thought they were funny and clever or whatever, and it just isn't. Like Barf Pinata, the fucking troop that discovers the Blood Spider Queen is like poking the sack, and he's like, it looks like puke. Probably shouldn't be poking this, and then he gets killed. I don't know. Next up, we have Werewolf Whisperer, which is to defeat the first alpha werewolf. And then Axe-Wielding Maniac, as I've been playing. The weapon I saw that is best for dealing with fire drakes is at least on easy, is the fire axe. It's actually kind of OP on easy because you don't have any stamina as far as swinging the axe, so you can just chop to your heart's content. And I ended up getting the Axe-Wielding Maniac for killing 25 enemies with the fire axe. I got that in episode 4, killing some werewolves. And then the first missable achievement for episode 4 is Just Another Day at the Office. And you got that, or I got that, for eavesdropping on the Black Order as they caged up a werewolf. Again, here's something else that the developers thought they were being funny. It's not.
Sit out here in the middle of the night and torment a werewolf than be part of the big picture?
That's the little things that keep me alive.
Is that right, stupid? Huh? The big stupid dog? It's Deckard. Open fire!
It's not funny. And then finally, for episode 4, we completed episode 4, unlocking Full Moon. Next up, we got Bull in the China Shop, which is the first missable, or maybe the only missable, yeah, the only missable achievement in episode 5, which is to have the Minotaur destroy all graveyard wall sections. This is your first Minotaur encounter. You just sort of kite him into the walls and he'll plow right through them. And then after that, we got Tenderized for defeating the Minotaur. And I Hate Ornithology for defeating the Griffin in episode 5. Both of those are unmissable, so great. And then we got Bullets and Blood for completing episode 5. Next up in episode 6, we got Fairweather Friends for changing the frequency of an aniform control device. And I unlocked this while trying to get the science achievement. In episode 6, there's a section in the lab, and for science you're tasked with completing all of the lab experiments within the lab, and one involves an aniform control device. So once you put your animus into it, you unlock the Fairweather Friends, and then once you complete all base lab experiments, you unlock science. And after that, I got Gun Nut, which is to fire all 8 projectile weapons in single player at least once. I missed the Magnum. I believe it was unlocked in episode 4, but you get a Magnum in episode 6, and then the final weapon I needed to fire was the rocket launcher, which you need to complete 10-piece bucket, which is to shoot down all low-flying griffins in episode 6. That's a required achievement. So once I shot down my first griffin, I unlocked Gun Nut, and then after killing all the required griffins for that section, I got 10-piece bucket. And then lastly, for episode 6, we got Counter-Strike, which is to complete episode 6. And then moving on into episode 7, we knock down a crane, unlocking us not OSHA compliant, unmissable. And then Power Outage, which is the missable achievement, is to take out the power to the Black Order outpost in episode 7. There's a section where you're about to go into the subway, and to your right is a Black Order outpost, and across the street from that is an electrical pole with a, I don't remember what the fuck they're called, terminal, whatever, the fucking little cylinder thing on the top of electrical poles. You shoot that and it blows up the sniper tower or whatever, and you get Power Outage. Then finally, for episode 7, we got My Kind of Town. For completing episode 7, and then moving on into the final episode, I unlocked a Bookworm, which is to collect half of the PDA pickups. For my first playthrough on Easy, which I forgot to mention, the difficulty achievements do not stack. So I just didn't see it prudent to start on hard if I wasn't going to unlock the other difficulties, so I just started on easy. And for this, I was just kind of worrying about completing the game and getting the missable achievements. So I wasn't really following a guide looking for the collectibles, but I ended up finding half of them on my own. And then in episode 8, we got Double Trouble and I Owe You an Apology together. And it's to survive the double Minotaur attack. Double Trouble is 1 gamer score, and then I Owe You an Apology is the remaining 14. There's those developers thinking they're being clever again. You get Double Trouble for killing the Minotaurs. It's a pun. You can see it on screen there. And then I Owe You an Apology is apologizing for the pun. Whatever. Thank you for the 15 gamer score, I guess. Another unmissable achievement in episode 8 is I Will Find You, which is to free Vivian from captivity. And then finally, we complete the final episode, unlocking endings and betrayals and petting Zoo for beating the game on easy. So, I started my normal playthrough and unlocked the missable achievement I missed in episode 3, which is to look at all the Great Langtini posters littering Times Square. I don't know why that's an achievement. Maybe it's one of the developers is the person posing as the Great Langtini, but looking at them, I don't understand how the game even tracks that you've looked at something, but whatever. And unfortunately, I missed 1 PDA in my normal playthrough, so I didn't unlock the Mint in Box achievement this playthrough, but I did finish the game on normal and unlocked Animal Control. And instead of looking for the collectible on hard, because I figured I would be preoccupied trying to play this shit-ass game on hard, I just loaded up episode 3 in Chapter Select and got the last PDA collectible I missed and unlocked Mint in Box. And then finally, I beat the game on hard, unlocking Savage Law of the Jungle. And I knew I would struggle with it after playing the game 2 other times. The shooting in this game is hard to explain. It's very twitchy, and you cannot you can't lower the sensitivity, which fucking sucks, because the slightest movement and you're not aiming at any werewolves or anything anymore, and when a werewolf hits you, it sort of moves your fucking camera. So say you're trying to back up from a werewolf and you get hit, you're like firing at them with the shotgun, you miss, then you gotta reload and the werewolves are just laying into you, and on hard that is super fucking frustrating. There's also a movement glitch in this where, for whatever reason, when I go to like look left, the fucking character will just drift left. And it's not a controller issue, because I've played this game using other controllers, and it's just some sort of fucking movement glitch within the game. As well as if you get backed up into a wall, and there's a werewolf in front of you, you can't fucking turn your camera. I don't know. I guess it thinks you're in the fucking wall. So that was just irritating. But that final section, when you've got to blow up the Animus control device at the end, was just straight ass. I died so much. It's not like, compared to like doing Call of Duty on Veteran, it's not that bad. I was there maybe an extra 40 minutes, but it was just infuriating. I was surprised that I actually even devoted the time to do this full completion, but I guess I felt obligated to do so since several members of my friends and family spent a good maybe 10 hours helping me. Granted, I didn't get the achievement I needed, but that's still 10 hours of their life they're not going to get back. So I kind of just grinned and bared it. And I'd made it this far in this playthrough, so I decided not to quit and just powered through it. And we finally beat it on hard. So the fucking campaign is shit. The multiplayer is shit. This game is shit. It's crazy how, because apparently this studio, Spark Entertainment, made Call of Duty Finest Hour. That's the first Call of Duty. I have that. I have Call of Duty Classic. That's what it's called on the 360. I haven't played it yet, but the way Call of Duty is now, obviously they did something right. It's crazy to see them go from that to this. There's just nothing good about this game. There was nothing remotely fun about it. And speaking of unfun, I finally got the final achievement, Combat Veteran, after playing another 91 games in multiplayer. I didn't have all other 7 people. It was just me and buddy Nathan doing it, which, again, bless him, because it's nothing. It was nothing. For maybe, let's see, we finished at 3 o'clock. I think we probably started around 10, maybe. So that's, yeah, about 5 hours of us just sitting there controlling 8 controllers and fucking completing multiplayer matches. But we finally did it, and I got to breathe a sigh of relief because this game is finally done. I have been not playing Alan Wake 2 because I've been doing this. And was it worth it? No. No, it wasn't. It kind of just was an experiment. Like, I had 8 Xboxes, so I thought, why the fuck not? I feel like Spark Entertainment, they're bankrupt now, so, or defunct, whatever. But I feel like they owe me money. That I invested so much of my money, my time, and fucking probably a few years off of my life into this game. Granted, I'm saying that in jest. This is all my fault. Like, I brought this on myself, so I don't expect anything from anyone. But whatever, it's done. And if anyone wants fucking 7 copies of Legendary, shoot me a message down below and I'll fucking mail you some. But yeah, while you're down there, leave some comments on some games you think I should give a shot at. I've got fucking 8 Xboxes, so if there are any that have got multiplayer that the servers are still up, at least, let me know. I'll fucking give it a shot. Leave a like if you liked this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I do lots of these. I have an entire playlist of full achievement get videos. And check back next time for whatever I do. Bye-bye.